Alright. So, release notes for Hunter and the Hunted. It's kind of cool. This picture. You got, like, all these people, Dragonborn fighting, all this stuff. You got fire coming out. And there's the, one of the hunters. The one of the Eladrin with the wolves. That's cool. Alright. So, this new pack is going to be the Wild Hunt. Comes with 2 level 7 quests and a new raid. Very exciting. The quests are also epic. The new anniversary event is coming out. So with the anniversary event, there's bound to account cosmetic outfits. So once per day, you can talk to the anniversary Jin, and you can get a choice of red, blue, green, pink, and silver. There's 5 outfits. You can get all 5 and then just bank them forever. You can only get 1 per day per character, but if you have 5 characters, you can log in 5 characters and get them all instantaneously, just right away. So keep that in mind. And the Jin will be there through December 31st. Oh. Oh, so you can literally just talk to the Jin through the rest of the year. So as long as you talk to the Jin this year, you get the outfits. So you have tons of time. There's new barter items. So including a mask and capelets that match our free coats. And then there's also the Sentient Jewel of the Dragon, 15th Anniversary Cloak, and the Celebration Armors are back. You can get these all from the Anniversary event. I'm not a big fan of running the Anniversary event and farming it out, but what are you going to do? Also, all these races are free. So we already knew all this stuff is coming out. I'm going to be posting a video with free-to-play versions of these classes. So if you want to try to play them, you can. And if you own any of these already, you get a greater Elixir of Discovery, which I believe is a 15% increased chance to find named items for 3 hours for each one. And you have to, but you don't get them like right away. You talk to an NPC to get them called Jubilee. So if you are somebody who needs to get these items, you can talk to Jubilee to get them. You don't just get them automatically. I don't know how you know you do get one or not. I don't know if there's like the list will get shorter if you already own them. I'm not sure. We'll figure that out. And they're bound to account. So it's not just going to go onto the server that you log into. It'll go on to whoever you redeem them on. Also, VIPs get daily gold rolls. I've talked about this before. This is crazy. This is a very, very good effect. It's worth the money. Trust me. All right, bug fixes. Absolute Zero applies to frozen enemies. Druidic Oath is like less noisy. Stone Shape works on Dire Bear, sure. And Strength Domain doesn't reduce your reflex save if your strength is lower than your dexterity, which is really funny. It's such a weird bug. Why would you take Strength Domain and then have a lower strength than dex? The odds of this happening are very low, so I don't know how somebody found this bug. So combat. Failing a concentration roll now triggers feedback on the avatar, which means you'll see when you fail a concentration check, so you can know when a spell isn't going off, as opposed to just like you notice that you failed the roll on the like little small part of the screen. When the feat elusive target triggers, it will now have a visual over your character's head. This is great because there's a lot of abilities like elusive target where we assume that they work, but there's no feedback, so you just don't know. So there's that. Oh, Ray of Enfeeblement. That's true. That could work. That's a good example. And then Artificer pets have been missing, or all the pets are missing animations. I noticed this when I was testing out the pets on my live stream when I went on Lemania to be like, hey, I wonder how good you can make pets now. So I literally got every single effect in the entire game that I could to make pets work. And a lot of times they just don't attack and stand there doing nothing. And apparently that's getting fixed. Also, heal works on players. So this is a big one for druids. Druids now get the effect where it's like what? You used to have to like go to your trainer and level up all of your pets, but you no longer have to level up all of your pets, which is exciting. It means they just get literally every enhancement. They get all the damage, they get all the strength, they get all the health, they get all the armor class. It's great. Instead, you can talk to your trainer for 2 things. The first is you can choose their alignment, right? So you can set their alignment to basically give them the box breaking effect or not, or whatever alignment you want them to have. And second, you can set them to have minus threat, so they don't get attacked as often, 0% threat, so it's just not, it's neutral, or more threat, so they generate more aggro off of you. Those are your options. Bluff and Intimidate are being disabled, because apparently those didn't work. And all of the pets, Iron Defender, Wolf, Druid, Wolf, and Skeleton, now get 100% fortification as a baseline, so that way they just crit less often, they're less susceptible to crits. This also means eventually you can also get them immune to like crits, even from bypassing monsters like beast marks and stuff. A Fade-Arch Illusionist Illusory Augmentation now correctly grants its bonuses if you have obtained Augmented Summoning from temporary source. big bug fix. This is basically the tier 5 that gives you extra illusion DCs if you have augment summoning. This didn't work, now it does. So that's good. Hope for success from Favored Soul Beacon of Hope now applies more effectively. I don't know exactly what that means, but that's good. Typed buff, good. And Eldritch Knight proficiencies now apply more reliably. Basically, this means that, you know, when you take the Eldritch Knight proficiency at level 1, which says you're proficient with all simple weapons, and it didn't make you do that, now it does that. Also, Eldritch Knight visuals now change color depending on which spell sword toggle you have on, which I have a picture here I can showcase. Basically, it's this here. So you have the Knight's transformation visual, so you can see this character is a fire Eldritch Knight because it now looks fiery instead of just blue as the default, which is very cool. I'm excited about that. Epic Destinies. So Fate Singers, Cut the Strings. Cut the Strings, death and damage effects now respect their 1 second cooldown, which they did not before, so that is a huge change to the damage. Cut the Strings no longer fails if you target someone behind you, which is good. Discord and range skills no longer scale with spell power and melee and range power, so they're going to be a lot less powerful. Discord range skill now grants 10 spell points when its 3 chords are consumed. And Greater Shout SLA from Fatesinger is now considered to be a level 6 spell. I wonder what spell it was before. Oh yeah, it's a major nerf. Cut the Strings is still unbelievably good. And Discord, all the Discord abilities are also unbelievably good. So the Arrow and Blade of Discord were insanely good. Now they're just going to be good. So it's still fine. Carrion Swarm has an updated visual, but it's still good. And First Blood no longer kills you if you cast a spell on yourself from Shadow Dancer. You can still kill yourself if you use the Primal Avatar effects. Keep that in mind. Since Drow is free, Warforged is now achieved from the Favor, replacing Drow. And I'm assuming Nyx will have different dialogue and tell you about Warforged. I don't know why he would unlock Warforged instead of Drow, but you know, it's fine. Feats. Epic Double Shot has its correct tooltip. Mounting a mount will no longer turn off the Runearm use feat, but instead just suppress Runearm charge until you are dismounted. So you don't have to constantly toggle your Runearm use on and off, which is just really good quality of life. Bloody Footprint now displays properly for the following races. Warforged, when they're inquisitive. Shifters, all the time. Tiefling males, one-handed and one-handed shield. And Drow, inquisitive. If you notice that there are other issues, just bug report them so that way they can fix them, so your Bloody Footprints will apply all the time. Big change this patch. You can now barter for all of the Medic Terran's wilderness loot with antique bronze tokens. Antique bronze tokens drop all the time. Basically, if you've ever spent like 10 hours farming out for a item from the sands, you're like, man, I want the Ring of Spell Storing, and it just doesn't drop. Well, guess what? Now you can trade your antiques bronze tokens for it, and you can guarantee you get it. This is a massive quality of life upgrade. Very good. Reaper shard crafting recipes for gloves and goggles now work, which is good. Dripping with magma got nerfed. Important note, this does not mean dripping with magma is bad. It means dripping with magma is now slightly less insane. This is still unbelievably good for fire spellcasters or just spellcasters in general. It's not going away, it's just very good. You cannot get a pouch of jerky from this, because pouch of jerky is from the raid, and this is only from the desert, the sands of Medic Terran wilderness loot, so not the raid loot or anything else. Keep that in mind. Bodlin tells you he has red augments, doesn't matter. Quality spell focus mastery changes from +1 to 2 at slightly earlier level. This means that your Spinneret and all your other items in the game that happen to have +1 quality spell focus mastery now have 2, making several more items in the game much more valuable at endgame. Hardcore 5 vendor is basically just going to be fixed, so that way it's not going to delete your rewards by accident if you already have the Hardcore 1 rewards, because they're the same. A lot of healing amp effects that used to have like old versions have been modernized. So like, for example, they would be like, oh, it increases your healing by like the wrong %, but it gives you a different number. It's all been just standardized. No actual changes, just a text change. Combinations from Evening Star factions are now bound to account. This is amazing because I have characters that literally have hundreds, and then I have other characters that have none, and now you can transfer them all over, and which is especially useful with Randall Lyric, one of the new vendors. And Alchemical Attunement now works with weapons, which is very exciting. Animated armors don't heal anymore, which is great. Monsters have been in the monster manual, which is great, and smaller crabs now play animations when crowd controlled, which is cool, instead of just standing there. Randall Lyric is getting a addition. I made a whole video about this, so if you didn't see it, you should definitely go watch that video on YouTube. Basically, he's going to be selling all of the augments that we didn't have in the game before. Dodge, melee power, range power, damage, accuracy, spell penetration, all this stuff. He'll be selling all of them for the entire leveling, so 4, 8, 12, 16, whatever. And also, you'll be able to buy every augment in the entire game for level cap from Randall Lyric. So very, very cool. You don't have to go to the store anymore. Anniversary event. They've changed some of the fights. Play it to find out. And some bug fix, bug fix, bug fix, bug fix. Oh, Into the Deep. So the monsters are not nearly as terrifying. Apparently the Scrags murder people. Yeah, no skills and stats. You still gotta go to the store for that. Vale's awkward appearance in the prisoner quest. Sure. Tiefling Infernal Resistance no longer drops on death. I didn't know that did this, but that's very funny. The hard targeting issue that plagued me in my last favorite soul life is now being fixed. So you can Holy Smite, Chaos Hammer, Flame Strike, and others. You can now hard target. So you're good. You don't have to just ground target. Lionheart and Reincarnate now properly take eschew materials, which I didn't know they didn't. Fire Seeds, Ice Flowers, and Burst of Glacial Wrath now take appropriate metamagic feats, so you can now embolden your Burst of Glacial Wrath, as well as your Ice Flowers and your Fire Seeds. Blur is not 25%, which it was for some reason. Meteor Swarm is less impactful on your visual effects on your screen, and Acid Well now respects its actual range limit. So if you didn't know, you could use Acid Well at any range. It had no range limit whatsoever, and now it'll actually be respected by defensive fighting. Prismatic Strike's daze is now an actual daze instead of a stun. Most people don't use Prismatic Strike because most people don't play Artificer, but this would affect you in Sharn, as there are monsters that do cast Prismatic Strike and they would stun you for 10 seconds and you would die. And Tensors no longer removes Eldritch Knight's shield proficiency upon removal, which is hilarious. I didn't even know that was a thing. There's those new UI options for filigrees. Basically, these first two make it a lot cleaner. So instead of like filigrees taking up this big chunk and then you can't even read what your character is saying on an item, that's gone. And prevent soft targeting heal default. This makes it so that your heal spells don't soft target, which means you don't accidentally cast a heal on yourself with no target, because you're targeting nobody and you cast a heal, and then it heals an undead that's nearby you, or an ally, and then you die. So that's good. This also means if you flick this option that it will not default Divine Wrath to yourself as a target, and you'll actually be able to ground target Divine Wrath again, which is very cool. Made some adjustments to some stuff. Spell selector window now remembers its position. A bunch of boring stuff. This is the biggest patch of them all. Delete all mail. As some of you might know, I reincarnate like once a week. And so when you reincarnate once a week and you're in 3600 favor, your mailbox gets like 60 mail a week of just, oh, it's, hey, you've got favor reward. You got favor reward. We can't turn those off. But you know what I can do? Delete them all in one go. Oh, so good. And some epic reincarnate UI. Down here, improve how the quest system reveals an objective and change how a change has been made that adjusts dungeon event processing. Basically, these are performance improvements. They're going to be monitoring how these things affect it. I have no idea the impact that these are going to have. We will see in the coming days. And apparently, known issues. The new dungeon and raid, the new adventure pack, do not have their proper experience set. The XP for running these quests will increase in the near future. Okay, so apparently Hunter and the Hunted, this pack has a terrible experience, so you will not be running this for experience, but I recommend you do run them because these are phenomenal quests. If you haven't had the chance to do them yet, they're so very cool, dude. I love these quests. They're super cool. I love them. So the new ones, they're great. And the raid, I'm stoked to do. I don't care if there's no experience in the raid. Stop leveling in raids, people. Go do raids once you leveled it and got your gear. Jeez Louise. And that's the new patch. I'm stoked. It's going to be good.